today I'd like to share with you just a really quick recipe to make a sweet treat and a little snack that actually has nutritional value, and we're not using any processed refined sugar to make these. So they're good for the kids, they're good for us too. So let me give you an overview of what we're going to use. So for our cornflake chocolate mounds, we're going to need 3 cups of unsweetened cornflakes. We're going to need a 1/4 cup of peanut butter, and I've got crunchy peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. We're going to need 1/3 cup of some cashews or nut of your choice, and we're going to need 1 cup of chopped dark chocolate or 5 ounces of dark chocolate, and this is 70% dark chocolate. We're also going to need some candy liners or truffle liners. These are the little liners, and I've got a pan of 24. This recipe will yield 24 little chocolate mounds, and we're also going to need some cooking spray in order to spray our mounds so that the chocolate does not stick. So let's get to it. So we're going to be using 3 cups of cornflakes, and this can be any brand that you like. I'm actually using Kellogg's cornflakes, the ones that are don't have the sugar on them, although there is some sugar in your cereal. Also, just another note, Kellogg's cornflakes are not gluten-free. They do use barley in the malt flavoring for their products. So that's just an additional note. Also, the cornflakes, I've tried organic natural cornflakes, and the brand that I bought, the flakes were very thick, which made a very tough crunch or cookie. So it wasn't enjoyable. So that's why I picked the Kellogg's cornflakes, because they're very thin, they break up easily, so it gives you a perfect crunch. Then we're going to add 5 ounces or 1 full cup of chopped dark chocolate, and I'm using 70% dark chocolate, which is very high in flavonoids, and it's an excellent antioxidant. It does have all kinds of health benefits that you can get from eating dark chocolate, and it is said to have more antioxidants than actually green tea. However, it does have more calories than green tea. Then we're going to be using 1/4 cup of peanut butter. This peanut butter has virtually no sugar in it. I think maybe it's 1 gram, but you can get a peanut butter that has no sugar in it at all. The fact that the peanut butter is going to actually sweeten this dark chocolate, because if we were to make this without the peanut butter, the dark chocolate would be too bitter. So again, high in protein, and that adds to feeling satisfied when you're eating these little treats, because if you've noticed, when you eat protein, it fills you up quicker and you feel satisfied. So it only takes 1 or 2 of these little guys to really fill you up. You are not going to be eating them by the handfuls. You're going to feel very satisfied and full just from eating 1. The next ingredient we're going to use is some coconut oil, and coconut oil is fantastic. It's brain food. It's great for your skin. The MCT oil in coconut oil, or the medium chain triglycerides that are in the coconut oil, are converted into ketones by your liver, and that's quick access to giving your body energy and feeding all of your cells and your brain. So this is very, very good for you. And an additional ingredient that you don't have to use, and that is, I'm going to make half of the recipe. I'm going to add some citrus peel, and this is just orange peel that I've made myself, but I made it with low sugar. If you don't have this, or some other candied peel that you may want to use, you may want to add maybe cranberries to it, but that depends on your own personal taste. So the only thing we're going to need is a measuring cup, a spoon. I've got a 24 muffin tin pan, and I've just lined it with these little candy liners or mini muffin liners. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray each one of them burst of oil, it actually, once it soaks up into the little paper liners, it does help weigh them down because you can kind of see they're sticking out of the pan. But give it a minute or two. And once the paper absorbs the oil, it does help push them down. So now that this is done, we're just going to set it to the side. And all we're going to want to do is we're going to melt all of our ingredients together. So 1 cup of the chopped chocolate, 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil, and 1/4 cup of the peanut butter. And then we're just going to put this in the microwave, and we're going to put it on for 20-second increments. We're going to start off at 20 and maybe 10-second increments because chocolate does burn quickly. So you want to make sure that you don't burn your chocolate. So we're going to start off at 20 and we're going to add 10 seconds as we go along. Now it might look like nothing has happened, but that chocolate is melting from the inside out. So it is critical that you do give it a stir for at least 30 seconds, and you will see that some of that chocolate may have melted, but you have to move it around or it will burn if it heats up too much in one spot. So I put it in for another 20 seconds and it's really started to melt. So now you have to stir it for 30 seconds. Now it is, oh, good Lord. It is partially melted. So we want to really give it a chance to melt with its own heat. So that's been a total of 60 seconds. So I think the lumps are now the crunchy peanut butter, the little pieces of peanuts there, and it's quite fluid as you can see. So all we're going to do, we're going to mix it with our cornflakes. And just drizzle it so that you can coat things evenly. And you really want it to be completely coated. I'm going to use the nuts, just break them up. They go really well with the cashew. And you can see that every flake of corn, or every corn flake, is covered with the chocolate for the mounds to become solid and stick together. This will make exactly 24, and what you need, I'm going to add the orange peel because I really like the flavor, but I'm going to use it to the second half of my recipe. So I'm going to fill up half now, and I've tried using ice cream scoop, but I find the easiest way was to use a soup spoon and just fill each little liner with a little mound that just comes above your little liner. These look adorable as a dessert. I served them the other day, 2 on a plate with a couple of strawberries and just a little, oh, I've done half, sorry. I've done half. With a little bit of whipped cream on the side. And I served it as a dessert. And my guests loved it. Okay, so the other half, I'm going to add the orange zest because I think orange and chocolate tastes delicious together. So this is just, you can certainly buy orange peel, but it's a lot nicer if you just made candied fruit on your own, it has way less sugar than what they use to produce it commercially. The less sugar you use when you make the candied orange peel at home, it really has a more intense orange flavor. Actually, quite a bit of time to work with this. It will not set until you actually put it in the fridge, and it's gonna have to set for maybe an hour, maybe less. But you definitely want it to fully set so that you've got a whole chocolate little mound. We're getting 24. Each one of these mounds, or each one of these mounds has approximately 28 or approximately 85 calories per mound, and that was calculated without using the crystallized fruit. That was just based on adding the cashews to it. It's not so bad, it's manageable. Push them into your cups so that they all stick together. And now we're just going to put these in the fridge and we're going to let them sit for about an hour, and I'll come back and I'll show you what they're like after an hour. So it's been an hour and we're ready to get our chocolate mounds out of the fridge. Firmed up perfectly. They're nice and solid, and the little liners are easy to peel off because we've added a little bit of that spray oil. And I've just got a nice dish. This is vintage, it's actually a cheese tray that I use for desserts. Look how fabulous that is. Would you like a dessert? So it's a beautiful presentation. They're great snacks. They will start to melt if you leave them out too long and the temperature is warm. So you want to keep them in the fridge, store them. They will store for a week or so, if not more. And so as an added little bonus, you can add a little bit of fleur de sel to it, and the salt and the sweetness goes fantastic together. Let's see what these taste like. They're so delicious. I got the one with the orange, and it's really good. They say that dark chocolate also helps improve your mood. So I know that I always feel better after eating one of these. So if you try these and you like them, I hope you share them.